I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering, and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
So let's talk about, this is just a visual for you to see. Let's talk about the symbolization of the first seal, okay? Naturally, the first seal, the seal with which the judgment opens, must contain the things at the very inception of the human race. Logically then, the white horse, the first in the symbolism, identifies the world's first state of being, pure and sinless, with a divinely crowned ruler or rider who at first had no goal but to subdue the earth and to fill it with eternal godlike beings. The earth itself was wrapped in a garb of beauty and purity, with all the wonders on land and in sea. Nothing was wanting. In the Garden of Eden were trees of every variety, many of them laden with fragrant and delicious fruit. There were lovely vines presenting a most graceful appearance, with their branches drooping under their load of tempting fruit of the richest and most varied hues. Patriarchs and Prophets, page 47. The earth in her youth, filled with delicate flowers and covered with a carpet of living green, spanned by the blue heavens, exhibited natural beauty and elegance such as no language can describe, a living wonder without a flaw, which only the great master artist could bring forth. The rider in his white horse, God's crowned king Adam, and his peaceful government, his white horse, are therefore the first to be weighed on the balances, the first to come in review before the judicial throne. Hence, we are again reminded that this character-searching event, the judgment, is the very thing that was to take place thereafter from John's time, years after the first century of the Christian era. The rider's crown and his bow called to mind the office to which man first filled. The instant God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Genesis 1:26. And God blessed Adam and Eve, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, conquer it." Genesis 1:28. Plain it is, at the throne of judgment, the white horse, the rider, and his crown figuratively identify Adam, God's created king, and his kingdom. And if the only thing which he was commanded to conquer was the earth by replenishing it and subduing it, then what else in the field of symbolism can the bow, the instrument to conquer with, logically represent but Eve? The next generation that is called to give account for its faith and fidelity, remember these are time periods, is brought to light in the symbolization of the second seal. Let's review that. And he had opened the second seal, and I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given him a great sword. Revelation 6, verses 3 and 4. Since the white horse and its crowned rider represent the first period of mankind, Then the red horse and its murderous, peace-destroying rider must represent the next period, the period in which murder and war for the first time broke out. And there is history. Abel, of course, was the first victim. And as a result, the whole Noahic world was destroyed by the flood, and a third dreadful curse rested upon it in consequence of sin. Patriarchs and Prophets, page 107. Notwithstanding this punishment and its object lesson, as soon as the earth's inhabitants multiplied after the deluge, sin likewise multiplied. And though the people could but give credit to Noah's correct prediction of the flood, they mistrusted him in his next prediction. The prediction that there would be no more flood to destroy the earth, Genesis 9:11. Even the rainbow in the clouds, the Lord's own token of his covenant not to flood the earth a second time, failed to convince them. What a mystery sin is indeed. First, they did not believe in even the possibility of a flood. That's a normalcy bias, right? When you don't believe something can happen because it's never happened in your own experience. And that's what we're seeing today as we see the judgments of God in land and sea, and we see the signs of his coming. Man is still, willingly ignorant because of their normalcy bias. They think things will always exist as they always have. But that's not what history shows. So here in the time of after Noah, next, they did not believe in the impossibility of a flood. Actually, the judgment of the unbelieving is as foolish as the judgment of the countrywoman who, when she first saw a train idling on the rails, emphatically declared, "It will never start out." Then when she saw it start off, she again declared just as emphatically as before, "It will never stop." So while the spirit of unbelief in the word has always benumbed the mind and subjected the body to sin and decay, even in the days when men were strong and long-lived, that same spirit is having an even greater hold on humanity today. So rather than to set them free from fear, the word of God spoken through Noah impelled the post-diluvians, those that survived the flood and multiplied, to feel that there was an unavoidable necessity to build a Tower of Babel as a defense against a second flood. Disapproving of their unbelief and false alarm, however, the Lord demonstrated his displeasure by interfering with their wicked and foolish project. He destroyed their tower and confounded their language. Thus it was that the confusion at Babel, Genesis 11, verses 8 and 9, gave birth to the existing races and languages. Finally, as the confused builders parted in groups, the neighboring ones began to quarrel one with another. And as they at length grew into nations, their quarrels grew into wars. Hence, the historical truth that wars for the first time broke out after the confusion of tongues shows that the red horse, and in particular its rider, depict the period in which the Tower of Babel was annihilated and in which peace gave way to wars.